Good, happy Sunday, June 13, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Sunday edition of Politics with Riley King. Let's get started right now. First up, Nevada governor signs law that purportedly gives that state first presidential primary. Sununu guarantees New Hampshire will remain first, says what happens in Nevada stays in Nevada. Former New Hampshire House Majority Leader, five-term state rep Douglas Lee dies at 62. Jaffrey Lawmaker was president of the American Federation of Teachers, New Hampshire. Governor Sununu expected to sign bill that would require people to call police if they injure or kill cats. Bill headed to the governor's desk. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more reliability,
If you hit a cat with your vehicle, you may soon be required to report it. State law already requires drivers who run over dogs to notify police or the animal's owners, or else face a $1,000 fine, but it did not include cats. A new bill that would include felines is now on the governor's desk. He has indicated he will sign it.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. House Senate Committee of Conference to try to reach compromise on future state primary date. Future of House Bill 98 uncertain, however, due to Sununu opposition to changing date from long-standing second Tuesday in September. Republican-backed legislation asserting New Hampshire's authority over its own elections headed to Governor. Sununu blast for the People Act, says he's praying it is shot down in Washington. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Their reviews? Our reviews.
I'm so happy.
Find out what we're all about at adamvroofing.com.
The legislation headed to your desk now targeting the For the People Act. This would create potentially a system, if that passes in Washington, of two elections here in New Hampshire. You'd have to have federal and state. I'm guessing you're not a fan of the For the People Act, but would you really, I guess, light the fuse on this and wait to see what happens?
Well, the question highlights how bad the For the People Act in Washington really is. It's forcing states to take defensive measures that could, in this state in particular, could effectively split up the election into two elections. That's a horrible solution to an even worse potential oncoming from Washington. All the more reason why anybody from New Hampshire would vote for that, House or Senate, is not looking out for New Hampshire's interests. We've got a great system here. We have one of the best election systems in the country, a gold standard, if you will, some of the highest participation rates. We don't, this would have forced people to, town moderators would have to manage the ballot boxes 2 weeks beforehand. We wouldn't know some races wouldn't even know who won until 10 days after the fact. You'd have third parties coming in here and ballot harvesting. These are all the things that create problems in other states, right? Other states go, how do we get like your system? Why would we take on any of that? And the result is, okay, well, we need to protect our system because it's New Hampshire's system designed by New Hampshire citizens and New Hampshire's volunteer legislature. They do a very good job with that. It's managed at a local level, right, by our friends and neighbors at our town halls. It's a really good system, and so obviously we want to protect that. But one of the only ways to protect it could be this bill that, potentially, it would divide things up because the For the People Act would take care of the federal races and would be able to manage the state races as we want. It's just a big mess. It's a big mess, which is why I'm praying that just gets shot down in Washington and we don't have to deal with any of it.
But the legislation, you're going to have to make a decision on that potentially before Washington acts or doesn't act. So.
Yeah, potentially. I'm not sure when it's headed to my desk. I'll probably sit down with Bill Gardner and legislative leaders and some of the town moderators, some of the town clerks, those folks that are on the front line, and talk about all of it in terms of what the bill looks like and making sure that you always want to make sure that the remedy doesn't outdo the problem that you're trying to fix. So we'll sit down with people on the front lines to make that decision.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Senate Campaign Finance Reform Bill approved by New Hampshire House, sent to the governor. Legislation increases minimum threshold for contributions. Reporting of recipients and expenditures by candidate and political committees. And that does it for this Sunday edition of Politics with Riley King. Thank you for joining us for this Sunday edition of Politics with Riley King. I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday and see you back here next Sunday for another edition of Politics with Riley King. Goodbye everyone and thank you for watching.